Hi guys, it's Christy with Just Saying. Let's make a card today. This one that I'm showing is a fall tone happy birthday masculine card.
Hello.
Hello, that was Ariana. So this card today we're making with always Artichoke, Cajun Craze, and Crushed Curry for the cardstock and ink colors. The stamp sets we're going to use, let's put that there. The background stamp is Hardwood. We're going to be using vintage leaves. And the sentiment is coming from Best Dad Ever. I'm cutting out the leaves with the leaflets framelits, which are here. I'm also using a bit of Stampin Up Jute and also red line tape. The last two products have been discontinued by Stampin Up, but any similar materials will work. I've got a little tiny bow here, which I'm using from a big roll of twine. I already have my bows tied. Those are from a leftover project. Okay, so let's get started. This one's pretty easy. I'm going to start with stamping the background stamp in Hardwood. And, oh, I missed it. What color did we do this one? Do you remember? Was that Crumb Cake?
Yes, Crumb Cake.
Okay.
Crumb Cake wood we're using. We're using Crumb Cake for the wood.
My helper girl back there. So I'm just inking up the stamp first, and then going to place my Very Vanilla, which should be 3 3/4 by 5. I'm going to place this on the stamp and then rub with a scratch sheet. You know what I don't have? Oh, I do. Scraps of my Very Vanilla to make my leaves. That's alright. And then carefully take off the background. We'll clean that later. Background is done. Now we have our leaves. So I'm going to check my pile of scraps. This one will fit for the yellow. That's white. Okay.
I am just here for some of the videos.
You are.
And this is only my second time being in one.
And you can use your voice. We're going to bring out the big shot. I've done this card already, obviously. And what I found after stamping the image and then running it through the big shot, I didn't actually get a good lineup of the framelits. So I actually stamped the image on the cut cardstock. So there's my yellow, there's my red, and there's my green. Skip that score line.
Is that a leftover card piece?
It's a leftover card piece, yeah. So I've got my magnetic plate, acrylic plate, cardstock, framelits, thinlits, whichever, and I'm going to run it through.
It can be quite noisy sometimes.
It can be. And back again.
And it looks very, very hard.
It's not. You've used it. Alright.
And I have used it once before.
Pop out my die cuts. Guess I'm not doing that on camera, huh? There we go. You can put those back. There. Okay. Big shot. Okay, so the vintage vintage leaves stamps are photopolymer. Perfect for those people who need help lining things up. And that's also why I can cut these out first and then stamp. But with the photopolymer, some stamps need a bit of cushion. So I'm just using my Stampin' Up piercing mat. And I'm going to use that here to get my stamp. And using an appropriate size block, push in. Cajun Craze is going to go for this maple leaf. Oops, move you back onto camera. Just stamping, inking it up. And then, without getting my head in the way, I'm going to line up the stem of the leaf and the base, and then the rest should match. Press down firmly and lift up.
Ooh.
Pretty.
He does things very nicely.
Thank you, child.
Better than I could.
Alright, my next one is always artichoke. This one can go on a long skinny block. This one. I think this one fit on a long skinny. It doesn't. Which one did I do this one on? Oh. Where'd I just put the stamp? Oh, found it. Over here. I have to say, there's a little trick I found. I don't remember who shared it, and I wish I could remember. It's taking a piece of acrylic, and I have this little saying in here. I also have a magnetic sheet. I thought I could stick my magnets, my framelits to it, but it doesn't work through the acrylic. But you stick your photopolymer stamp on an acrylic frame. I got it at the dollar store, and then you can find your stamps anywhere on your desk, and they don't disappear. So that is now there, so I don't lose it, because I just did. Okay. Leaf on always artichoke.
That was me just moving the piece.
Thanks, Tips. Careful. Again, lining the stem with the bottom parts of the leaf. Cut out and straight down, press even pressure, and lift.
That was me.
Now this one is going onto my acrylic frame. Perfect. And my smallest cutout. And my smallest, it's over here, smallest leaf. It's not the smallest, I just was told. Smallest in my card.
Yes, but not smallest in the pack.
Crushed curry. Ink. The first time I did this one, I don't have my scrap, I mounted the stamp upside down. It's photopolymer, you can't tell. So I thought, oh, that's a lot of ink on that stamp. What was that going to look like? So I put it down, lifted it up, and I had a big blob.
Mm-hmm.
Then I tried to stamp on the reverse, because cardstock has two sides. And then I cut out the framelit, but I didn't do it right. That's a bit off center. I'm going to do this one. Other side. Sorry if my head was in the way. Okay, my leaves are done. My leaves are now mounted on my frame. Assembly is up next. This one's a pretty easy one to assemble. I'm going to take my Cajun Craze, Very Vanilla that's been stamped with the Hardwood. Adhere those two together. and adhere that. To the Always Artichoke. Now as far as the layering goes, up next is the jute. And what I want is the jute to go straight across. I'm not too picky, it doesn't go underneath. If I folded it under, it would be way too thick. So it is approximately 4 inches wide. So using this mat, 1, 2, 3, 4, cut right about here. Good. Now comes the red tape, red line tape. This stuff sticks to anything or nothing. It's so funny. Okay. Just a bit of tape. It is cool tape. And a little bit more. Okay, now I said it sticks to anything or nothing, so it's actually not stuck to this burlap, the jute. What I'm going to do is take my bone folder and just really work it in there, just on the ends, so that I have something to pull up. And then try to work just the tape off of the adhesive, the backing off the adhesive. There we go. There's one. Now those red lines stick to anything and everything. And this one. Okay, so this is going to be mounted fairly straight right across. Yes. And using some glue dots, I'm going to stick them on the flowers. Sorry, leaves. I do so many projects with flowers. It's nice to, I loved this set and I've been waiting to order it and then to have it delivered for the longest time. So excited. Okay, here's my leaves. Just going to arrange them so they fit. And using these little glue dots, mini glue dots, are available through Stampin' Up. These bigger ones are available at Michael's. And I'm using them to adhere, really hard to see, using them to adhere the leaves to the cardstock. Can't see them on camera, but they're there. Oop, come on, yellow. Stick that down. Using my pre-done little bow, I'm going to add a mini glue dot to it because it just, they don't seem to be very sticky right now. And stick. Okay, that is the majority of my card. Up next, I have this little piece of cardstock. It was a scrap that I've cut down. It is a 1/2 inch by 3 3/4. I've cut it down to work with my banner punch. I need the Father's set, the best dad ever, and the happy birthday out of it. And I lost it.
That's why I'm here to help.
If my child would use her own voice, that would be great. Okay,
Sorry.
so I'm going to line up the stamp on the block, and then using Always Artichoke.
Stamp.
There we banner on both sides. Okay, straight down, straight up. And this is where the banner punch comes in. I am terrible. Some people say you just cut a little slit in the middle and then from side to side. Well, those things are wonky for me. I can never get them to line up straight. But instead, I take my 1/2 inch piece of cardstock and my banner punch, slide it in through the top, make sure it's equal from top to bottom, and clip. And the same thing, slide it in from the top, equal from top to bottom, and snip. Now I did need dimensionals. Using dimensionals from Stampin' Up. I'm going to just pop this up. I haven't shown it, but the inside of this card, because it's a dark green, will have a layer of Very Vanilla, making it easier to write your birthday wishes. Upside down, inside out.
Oh. I didn't know that yet.
I haven't cut it. I will do it later. Here's the finished card. Here's my bone folder. Perfect. I invite you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'll also have a link to both my Etsy shop and Facebook page where you can follow me there. Thank you for watching.
Bye-bye.